What's up, everyone? Happy New Year from Coach Dawn and myself. We are back in this thing. I hope that you had a phenomenal Christmas break and then New Year's Day, and that your mind is in a beautiful place right now. I keep hearing all the it's a new year. This is going to be an amazing year. All the things, right? Like that's normally the energy that everybody is in. And I think that that's a phenomenal place to be. But as we are talking about this and we're getting anchored, like first and foremost, if y'all could go ahead and just be putting it in the chat, I want to know, what did y'all do for your Christmas plans? What did you do for your New Year's? What are like let us know like what you got going on, and what are you looking forward to the most this year? That's the big thing that I want to know, is that what are you looking forward to the most this year? What are you expecting from God? How are you expecting God to move in your life or in your business? I know for me, I have both business goals and family goals. And I think that this year is a little different. My family goals is trumping my business goals, because in years prior, I've been having a lot of business goals, and I'm like, I need to go back and fill in some gaps and within my family of some things that's really, really important to me. So what are you looking forward to? Coach Don, what are some things that you're looking forward to this year?
You know what? I was, as you're talking, I was really answering the questions for myself, and I was like, okay, what's going on? So yeah, it's, each and every year that we start a new year, we have new hope, we have new vision, we have new hopes and dreams and plans and all the things. But I'm glad to hear that you are like, okay, let's take a step back and let's really look at family and business, right? Because there's so many times as women that we neglect one or the other. I'll just put it that way, because it's like, okay, what takes priority in the season? And there definitely are seasons like that. For me, this year is my birthday in May is going to be a big one, so I'm excited for that. And your family vacation over the holidays really inspired me. So
Yay!
it did. It really did. So I'll let you share what you guys did if you choose to do so. But yeah, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to sit around and wait anymore, right? There's just been a lot of mindset shifts for me over the past few weeks and months, and looking forward to stepping into that new version of me. And as human beings, we're always learning and growing, because if we don't learn and grow, we die. So I love looking forward to this new year, and taking time to really sit with the Lord and see what else He has in store for me, other than what He's already downloaded into my vision right now. But it's exciting.
Y'all, she didn't even tell y'all. She didn't even tell you. Like she told you part of it. So how she gonna start the conversation and then be like, "Well, I'll let you tell it if you want to tell it." What she's referring to is traveling. So in this year, she wants to do more traveling and all of that. We went on a cruise, me and my family, to unplug and release and just reset. And she's saying that that was something that really inspired her. Instead of waiting for all of these things to line up perfectly, she's like, in our sister conversation, she's just like, you know what? Like, I'm not waiting. Like, I'm going now. Now is the time. And I think that as we are, that's a word for all of us, is that don't wait. Like now is the time. So whatever it is, you didn't have to wait for 2023 to arrive. You don't even have to wait for this next quarter. You don't have to wait. Now is the time. And one of the things that I was talking to a client with yesterday was about, she was talking about some things, and she was saying, like, hey, like I feel like I'm behind. And I'm like, how can you be behind in your own race? Like, if you're running your race according to your assignment and what God is destined for you, how can you be behind? What's the metric? Like, who's monitoring and measuring that? So if you feel like something, like there's something that you haven't got to do or that you haven't got to start, put a time of now. Just change the date and say now is the time. Like I get the opportunity to do this right now. And I think that's why this conversation that we're having today is so important about receiving the download, because we can make the Bible tells us to write the vision and make it plain. And so we can make it, we can write it, but sometimes the vision is not plain enough for us to carry it out. And we need to make sure that the things that we are writing, first and foremost, that it's plain enough for us to carry it out, but it's also plain enough for us to believe in it. It's plain
Right.
enough for us to receive it. Because see, sometimes it's not plain enough for us to even receive it because we're writing things that we're expecting, that we feel that the world is expecting us to do. We're writing things that we feel is we have to do to be able to make this certain metric or make this certain amount. Is that really true for you? Is that really authentic? Is that really real? And are you going to be able to receive that in a way where you'll be able to carry that out this year, and in a way that's authentic, in a way that's congruent? We do something in our Woke Insiders group. For us, Woke stands for Women Operating Kingdom Enterprises, and the Insiders group is like our DIY training version that the ladies get to jump in and partake of. And so we do something every month. It's called Freedom Breakthrough Trainings. And so in that Freedom Breakthrough Training yesterday, I was talking about just stepping into some predictions about 2023 and really stepping into what's going to be the habits that's going to make you successful in 2023. Because see, we think about, oh, okay, I got a goal, but how many of you know that we can have those goals all day, but then you start to repeat the same year over and over and over, and it's like, what the heck is going on? Like, I'm going to the trainings, I'm doing the things, I'm praying, I'm fasting, I'm believing, I'm standing, I'm collaborating, I'm doing all the things, but nothing is happening for me. Or if it is happening, it's not happening in the way that I thought it should. And so what has to happen is that we have to step back and really get into a place to where we're in a place of congruency with what we're setting, the goals that we're setting out. Is this really true for me? Is this what I really want to be doing? Because some of us need to do some releasing. Some of us are doing things that we think we should be doing, but it's not even true for us. It doesn't even feel good for us. It's just like, well, I think this is how I'm supposed to be making money. And because this is what Susie over here is doing, and she's built a multi-million-dollar business out of it. So surely if it works for Susie, it's going to work for me. But is that authentic to your gifts, your calling, your anointing, and what you've been divinely appointed and destined to do? And so you got to slow it down to say, hey, is that true? Is it plain? Is it congruent? And when you can get in a place of congruency and you're in alignment with things, then it's like the floodgates start to open up and you start to receive divine downloads. You start to receive divine ideas that just make things happen. And it's almost as if clients just start to divinely be released into your atmosphere or your divine area of influence because you're divinely aligned. I said a lot of divine, but it really is about that. And so when I say plain and the context of what I just said, write the vision, make it plain, like make it plain enough to where it's true and it's in alignment with your assignment. It's true and it's in alignment with your authenticity and what you've been called to do. Coach Dawn, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, and you know what? Everything you said is completely true. And I'm going to back it up a little bit before that, right? Because how do you know if it's in alignment? How do you know if it's congruent with what you're called to do, right? Because you're so, steady trying to look at everybody else, right? All the Susie Q's out there doing their thing, right? And there's a lot of things out there like, well, I could do that. I could do that. And I could probably do that better than them, but have you taken the time to sit down and really go into those intentional, times with God? We like to say intentional mornings with God, and, really listen, because that's the thing that I think a lot of people me included, just kind of fly by, right? We sit down, we, maybe read the scripture, read the Bible, whatever, say the prayer, thank you, God, gotta go, right? So when are you taking time to listen? So when you're building a relationship with the Lord, it's a two-way street, right? If I just came and just like, talk to LaDondra just one way, Coach LaDondra, blah, 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 okay, bye, I gotta go, right? Then what good was that, right? Because she didn't have time to pour her wisdom into me, and she may have had something really, really good to share with me, right? Guys, our Father God has so much goodness to share with us, right? But if we're not taking the time to really sit down and get that vision from Him, then it's really for nothing. You're just spinning your wheels, you're doing all the things, you're doing that busyness instead of really sitting down and listening. Like, take your petitions before Him. Go and say, God, this is a new year. I feel renewed. I feel refreshed. I'm ready to receive what you have in store for me this year. So can you please open my eyes to see that? And really just however that looks for you. Like for me, I like to have some just meditation music going and just really getting into it, put my oils on, whatever that is for you. If that's walking, if that's taking a shower, a bath, whatever that looks like for you, find that sacred space to really take that moment to just be still, ask, say, here's what I'm thinking, God. What do you think, right? What do you see? What's the vision that you see for me, for my family, for my business, for just, everything? Because let me tell you this, the things that we see, that we think we want, all those, everything that we can plan and prepare and want, they are this big compared to what God has in store for us. If we were just to sit down and say, all right, God, what do you see? Because this is all I can see, right? I can see this little piece right here, but you see everything. And I know for me and my flesh, I've been doing things that have obviously not gotten me where I want to go. So what do you see, right? Take the scales off and let me see what you see. And that's the visioning that we're talking about today, is really opening up and being still and sitting with Him and going, what do you see as the vision for my life this year, right? But then break it down. Okay, what do you want me to do right now, God? What are these steps that you need me to do right now? Because we're not promised tomorrow. We saw that. I don't know if, I barely saw this in passing, but the young man in his early 20s, Monday Night Football, got hit hard and had a cardiac arrest right there on the field. You guys, it doesn't matter if you're 20 or 82, we're not promised tomorrow. So we have to get in alignment with what He's called us to do. What is that? Have you asked Him? Have you taken the time to sit down and be like, what is it, God? I'm not doing something right because I've been in my flesh and I've been in my thoughts and I've been in my feelings and I've been in all the things, and I haven't been tapping into you and your vision for my life to even get in alignment. So sis, before you write the plan, let's make sure that we're going to the creator of the plan first and really taking that time to listen to what He has to say for our lives so that we can get in alignment. Coach LaDondra, what do you say?
Yes, ma'am. You better teach. That was so good. That was so good. The thing that I want to come in and say on this is that whenever you ask, and I pray that this is some encouragement, because as I was sitting here listening to Coach Don, this came to me. And one thing that I know that to be true is that when you sit down and you listen, you got to be willing to listen, but then receive. And then after you receive, though, sometimes things are going to get a little messy.
Mm-hmm.
Hear me out. Um, there are so many times where, I'm asking God, and I'm actually in that moment right now, and it really didn't hit me until, some later years, that I had to mature into this, because I was thinking, like, when things started to get kind of look messy or feel kind of disorganized and just all this stuff, like I was thinking that something was wrong, like I was doing something wrong. But what I didn't realize was that he was deconstructing so he could reconstruct and bring things into alignment with the request that I had put up before him. And so if you're in that season and you are asking, you're saying, God, what say you? You know, I gotta be like Queen Elizabeth because you know I'm a queen. So, you know, I gotta, she say, what say you? And so rest her soul. But I would say, what say you, Lord? And then it will be like I would say like in that next week things start to just get like messy. I feel disorganized. I start to feel like, okay, there's like this white space, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. Like, I don't know. Do I make calls? Do I make sales? Do I need to be making content? What do I need to be doing? Here's the thing. That's a beautiful place to be because what you're doing is you are allowing him to deconstruct all of what you've been going through, all of what's going on in your mind, all of the things, right? And he's creating a renewal. So in that renewal process, now he's starting to fill you up with his thoughts, his wisdoms, his ideas, his mind. See, we have the mind of Christ, but we got to create space for his mind to start to operate in our business and to construct the our path and lay the way out for what it is that we're trying to do. And so what you have to do in these moments is don't be like, oh, go try to fill it up with busy work. Sit there, receive it. And when I say sit there, that don't mean just be idle, but receive the vision. So if he's saying things, keep writing it down, put it in your phone. I typically am, my phone is filled with notes, and I'm just writing it down. Once I write it down, or and then sometimes it's in my journals, and so I have this whole hot mess going on, what looks like a hot mess, but I'm in deconstruction so he can reconstruct. Then I'll go back and I'll say, God, what do you want me to do with this? How do you want to organize this? Because see, it's all these pieces and components. Think of a construction site of a house being built. Like there's this beautiful, elegant house in the process of being built, but the construction site, it looks terrible. Like you see all this wood and these nails and buckets and the workers being there and their lunch bags and just like all this crap around it. And that's what it's like when you're in that vision planning phase. There's this beautiful, elegant house being built, but on the outside, it's like all, and on the inside, it's all this crap going on of under construction, whatever. But if you keep on trusting the Lord, you keep on receiving the vision, you keep on receiving the blueprint, then what will happen is it'll start to click and connect, and before you know it, all this trash becomes this beautiful, elegant, just house that's like, whoa, I didn't even know that was even a thing. God, you didn't even tell me what you was up to. What? No, you didn't tell me. But it's not for him to tell, it's for you to trust him. You asked, so now you got to create space to receive, and you got to create space for it to get messy so that he can deconstruct, so he can reconstruct, deconstruct to reconstruct whatever it is that he is wanting to do. So don't be in these moments and be like, oh, I'm feeling everybody is, they're on their goals and they're running past me. Cool. Let them run their race. Celebrate them for running their race. My race looks different from yours right now. I'm in deconstruction, and I know that, but you know what? In the next 6 months, girl, my house gonna be bad to the bone, and I'm gonna invite you in, and we're gonna eat and celebrate one another. We got to release this comparison. We got to release this jealousy. We got to release trying to be in somebody else's lane. We got to release all this stuff that is holding us hostage from being the queen, the daughter that we have been destined to be. It's slowing us down. It's getting us out of alignment, and it's creating so much pressure that we was never meant to carry. And then it's blocking us from the blessing that we were divinely called to walk in. And so that's, I just wanted to say that because a lot of people, they're like, they think I'm like doing all these amazing things. Like, how do you do all this? I do it because I let it get messy. and I allow the Lord to move in all of the mess, and I let him reconstruct it how he wants to. And I trust that what he's constructing, that it's going to be beautiful, because I know that everything is working out for my good. He's working all of the components. He's working it all out for my good. If things are going wrong with my good, I know that he's working it out for my good. If things are going wrong in the marriage, I know that, hey, I prayed for a reconstruction in my marriage. So I'm deconstructing some things. If there's something happening within myself, and I'm like, you know what? Hey, but I prayed for this. So he just reconstructing some things. So like my mental is feeling off right now, but I know he's reconstructing some things to build that beautiful, elegant house. So I'm just trusting it. So you got to get to a place where you're just trusting.
That is so good. And that's such a great analogy too with the construction, because I've been on many of those construction sites, right? And, you know, but it started with the vision. You know, they do because I used to work in architecture, right? So when you go and you present the plan, right, to the potential client, you give them these renderings, right? And they're beautiful, right? It's a beautiful mock-up of what it's going to look like. And so you're giving them the vision of what you can give them, right? But you're so right. Like, first of all, let me get back to receiving that vision, because again, he can see so much more than what we see. So when he starts giving you those downloads, don't be blocking them, you know, because so many times we're like, what? Like, and you don't write it down. Receive what he has to say, no matter how crazy it may sound to you, right? It's only crazy until it happens. And so receive, write it down. Receive that rendering that he has for you, because he sees the end result. But right now, like Coach LaDondra said, you may be in that messy part, that deconstructing phase, right? To get reconstructed, to have that you know, mansion that he has in store for you, whatever that looks like. So just y'all just get ready for the vision. But really there's several things that we talked about today. The releasing of the old, right? You have to release the old. And you guys, if you have not listened to all 8 days of what Coach LaDondra, the brilliance that she shared with us before she went on vacation last year, 8 days of releasing, that is in our Facebook group, We Doing Business God's Way. Okay. They're all sectioned together in a guide. So you don't have to be like, where is it? Where is it? They're all together. Go do that first. That's number one. Release. You have to release what's been holding you back, those chains that have been holding you back for so long. Release. Then get still. Get still. That sounded real country. Y'all get still. Ask, right? Ask and listen. Listen. What say you, Lord? Listen.
Yes.
Don't block it. Do not block it. Get your phone, get your journal, whatever it is when you sit down with him, and take that time. Listen, receive, write it down, don't block it. And then we're going to talk about this next week, but how to take that vision and then get everything in alignment, get everything like in order and organized. That's next week's message. But this week, just receive, release, and receive. That's what I'm going to say. Release and receive. So if you haven't watched that 8-day series, go back and watch that. We've talked about intentional mornings with God. You guys, Coach LaDondra, y'all, let me just say this. She can be a little stubborn sometimes. She can be a little stubborn. But y'all, when she creates gold for our clients, and we're like, there's so many people that can benefit from this. There's so many people that can benefit from this. We've got to get this out. That was the intentional mornings with God. And so she finally released it, y'all. She finally released it. So if you haven't seen, first of all, our newsletter came out. That dropped in your email. It might be stuck in the promotions folder.
Oh, beautiful.
Thank you. It just it's in there, Intentional Mornings with God. And you guys, it's a game changer. It really is. From the receiving end of it, right? It's a game changer, especially for people like me who may struggle with that. Like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to ask. I don't know, how to go. Like I really didn't have a good father figure growing up. And, Coach Ladondra didn't really either, right? Our dads weren't in the home, but just to have that guided direction of, okay, start like this, then transition to this, then go to this, then go to this. Y'all, she laid it out so beautifully. It's just been a game changer for me. And so I pray that you go get that Intentional Mornings with God training, because it was really, really, really phenomenal. But we do have one more thing that's coming out soon. Coach Ladondra, you want to talk about that?
Yeehaw! So let's talk about getting country. I hit you with the yeehaw. So, y'all, I am very happy to announce that we're getting ready to begin our Braving Fear Challenge. This is something that has just been sitting on my heart. I stewed over it over the holidays and just everything, and just thinking about what do our people need that's going to propel them into their next level. Because like we can be setting goals. I noticed like one thing that is one of my gifts is I pay attention to patterns, and I pay attention to patterns of like what's making people successful, what's causing people to stay in a position of bondage and strife and struggle and all of the things. And one thing that I have noticed is that it's not about us having, strategy. We can have strategy all day, which I love strategy. I think that our team does a phenomenal job with strategy. It is, we can even talk mindset. Mindset, that's a thing too. Without the mindset, the strategy matters not. But there's something that's even greater than that. And it's been noted in the Bible several times, is you conquering your fear. Before there was any assignment like that was given, like all of the great heroes in the Bible, they struggled with one thing, and it was fear. God said do this, and then as soon as he said do this, then their fear was right on the other side of it. It's like, who am I to do that? And fear, the crazy thing about it is it manifests itself in different ways. It manifests itself through loneliness. It can manifest itself through feeling inadequate. There's so many ways, and we're thinking that it's something that I'm doing something wrong, I'm bad. And really, it's not that you're bad or you're doing anything wrong. There's something subconsciously that's blocking you that from entering into your next level. There's some levels of fear that's subconsciously blocking your next level. So what we're going to do is we're going to deconstruct that fear and those fear-based thinking, those fear-based behaviors. Some of those have been passed down to you. Some of those have been you've taken on as a survival mechanism because you wanted to guard yourself from any pain, hurt, shame, whatever. And so we're going to deconstruct it. We're going to recognize it, deconstruct it, and then we're going to create alignment. And if any of you have been through in any of my challenges, we roll differently. I don't just speak from just, oh, let me just give them just a little bit. We go all out, we go all in, and we get to the heart and we get to the root. I love plucking up roots, like just grab it. Like it makes me think about like my grandmother in the garden. She like, baby, you got to get in it. Like we're gonna get in it and we're gonna grab them roots, snatch them up, so that you can have a whole new year. You can lean into this year totally different, and you're not repeating the same year over and over and over again. Gone are the days of doing that. I'm tired of seeing our sisters struggling year in, year out, and hoping that they get another result, but they haven't really dealt with what was really happening on the inside. So we're going to get to the inside. We're going to deal with what's happening on the inside. We're going to pluck up all the old and plant the new, and create a harvest this year. Let this be your harvest year. Like, don't let this be the year where you're just talking about it. Let it be. Make the decision that this is the year. This is the year. Now is my time. It is my turn, and I'm ready to step into my boldly step into my God-given assignment. See, when Jesus gave Solomon and all the other people their assignment, he said, be strong and courageous. Be strong and courageous. Why did he say that? Like, because there had to be something on the inside of them that he knew that if he didn't give them that impartation of courage and strength, then it was going to block them from entering into their next level. That's what we're going to be doing through this Braving Fear Challenge. So Get your ticket. It's only $10. $10. And it's a 10-day challenge. 10 days of transformation. That's $1 a day, sis. If you don't take me up on that, like that's not this is what I'm gonna say about that. You're doing yourself a disservice because this is your opportunity to invest in yourself, your next level, to pluck up your roots. This has nothing to do with me, my team. What we can do is we can be great stewards and we can put it out there for you. My clients, y'all, don't you sign up for it. This is free for y'all. So if you're a current client, you get this for free. But if you're not currently a client, like it's only $10. So you with the $10, you get to invest in your next level growth so that you can brave fear and make this year the best year ever. We're not going to just say it, we're going to actually actualize it this year by conquering those fears. And you'll have the opportunity once you go through to upgrade into our VIP war room. And y'all, ooh, now that's a sweet spot for me and my team. We go deep into prayer. We're going to get into that thing, and we're gonna war room it out in prayer. This is going to be your opportunity. If you've ever wanted to get upfront and personal questions with Coach Don, myself, then you'll be able to do that. Amber will probably pop in on some of those. You'll be able to do that and get to pick our brains about some things in the war room. And Coach Don was like, "Hey, you needed to make this like way more than what I'm gonna tell y'all it is." That's fine. I love Coach Dawn, and she's right that the value is there. However, we want to make this easy for you to say yes to yourself. No, we will not always do this. We want to make this easy for you to say yes to yourself as you kickstart your year, brave fear. So you'll be able to enter into the VIP war room for only what, Coach Dawn?
$27.
$7. Listen, that is a no-brainer. Be sure to go to the link, sign up, not only get your ticket to join the challenge, the 10-day challenge, but then also get your the ticket upgrade to join us in the war room. I think that covers it all. I hope that you're really willing and ready to make the commitment to yourself and your family. Because see, we're about empowering generational wealth. And the only way that you can empower generational wealth, it starts with you. And it starts with you becoming the woman of God that you've been called to be, that you've been destined to be. And part of that is breaking the chains of fear, breaking the bondage that you have made an agreement with in any type of fear, so that that's not passed down to your children's children. It's time to come out of agreement with that and start to step into your God-given purpose. It's time to stop making surface-based goals and to step into that deep level. Go way deep so that there's an overflow. You're just walking in an overflow. That's what we want for you this year, sis. We want you to boldly walk in the overflow, that it's just overflowing from you, from the head down, just the oil all the way down. And it's going to everyone you touch, they just feel it. Just say, I want the oil to flow. I want you to I just want the oil to flow. Not only to me and my kid, I want the oil to flow. Put that in the comments, declare it, decree it, say it is so. Coach Dawn, what did I miss?
You know what? The only thing you miss is that all it takes, ladies, is a decision. It really is a choice to make a decision that you're ready. You're ready to receive, you're ready to release, you're ready to make a change. Like it really is a choice of making a decision and not overthinking it, not like going, well, I don't, like if you have to go, well, I don't know if I can do $10, like, I'm sorry. Like $1 a day. Come on, you guys. It's if you have
and
not,
that's not a shame. We're really empowering you, because if you're not willing to make those small decisions, then you're not ready for the big things to come through. So that's not a shame thing. It's just helping you to shift your thinking.
Exactly. And what I was going to say is if you have been in these war rooms with Coach LaDondra before, you know the power that comes through her, right, from our co-creator above. You do not want to miss that. That is powerful because he literally speaks to and through her for you. She calls you out by name if you're in that room. And the value you get from that is priceless because it's just a divine download that is for you specifically. Like I'm just telling you guys, if you've been in there before, like y'all know, like put it in the chat. I've been in that war room before. I've seen the prayers. I've seen the prophetic words being, poured out. You don't want to miss it because you could literally be missing your blessing by not being in that room. So you guys join us for that. I put the link in the chat. We love you. We'll see you right here again next Thursday for the next part of this visioning, and we're going to take the vision and we're going to create the plan. So be here with us next week for that, and we're going to go chat with our clients now in our next level program. So we love you and Happy New Year. We're glad that you could join us today, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.